Hi and welcome to another BREWHA video. In this video we're going to be racking the Belgian Saison that we brewed in another video. We've completed the fermentation. We fermented at 80 degrees Fahrenheit and we maintained that temperature by running warm water through the jacket. We had the Ranco ETC was controlling the solenoid down at the bottom and would open the solenoid, letting warm water into the jacket whenever the temperature dropped below 80 degrees Fahrenheit. We think that this also helped with the fermentation because every time the warm water came into the cone at the bottom, it would warm up the yeast that was dropping out a little bit and creating some current inside the fermenter. We used 3724, the Y yeast DuPont Saison. And if you look online, you'll see a lot of people complaining about it, that it tends to stick right around the 0.30 mark. Even Y yeast talks that you might have to heat the fermenter up in order to get it going again. We didn't see any of that. We had a good fermentation. It wasn't overly fast, but it was a good healthy fermentation for the whole period until it was complete. So we've got the fermenter here. We've cleaned out the racking port at the bottom, put some sanitizer into it. We've sanitized our kegs and we've got our CO2 and it's all ready to go. So what we've done is we have a custom piece in our for racking over to our kegs. We've fitted a tri-clamp 1.5 to this hose. And we have a stainless steel quick connect for the ball lock on the corny keg. And we're just going to be running it out of the racking port here in the bottom of the conical. And we're going to be transferring it directly into the out port of the corny keg. So that's going to run the beer right down to the very bottom of the keg. It's going to prevent any extra agitation. And we're going to be pushing it out over into the keg by using the CO2 and putting it into the coupling that we have here at the top of the BREWHA 3-in-1. This CO2 just connects all 3-in-1s, come standard with a 1/4-inch NPT female fitting here at the top, and they come with a plug in them. Different brewers have different gas fittings. So we don't try to match it for everybody. We just send the NPT and then you can just get a fitting that'll go from the NPT to the gas in. If you have any questions about how to do that, feel free to contact us using the form through email or however. So we're just going to hook up the gas to the 3-in-1. We're going to connect the line and we're going to start to transfer it over. Okay, so we're just about ready to start racking the beer directly into the keg. We've attached the CO2 to the gas in on the 3-in-1. We've adjusted the regulator on the CO2 so that it's just a couple PSI. You don't need very much pressure. In fact, you don't want very much pressure, just a couple PSI is fine. So we relieved the gas in the regulator, turned out the regulator until it was 0. And then slowly started to screw it in until we get a couple PSI going into here. First, we're just going to empty out this port here a little bit. One other thing that we did is close the top valve here. You don't want your gas all escaping out the top. First, we're just going to flush out any yeast that has collected in the bottom port here. It's looking pretty good. And we're going to take our hose out of our Star San bucket that we have just to keep it sanitary. And we're going to connect it up. We also sprayed a bit of Star San into here a couple minutes ago just to ensure that the valve here was sanitary as well. Now, Star San is a no-rinse sanitizer, so you don't need to clean it out. I generally like to clean it out a bit just because I don't like the idea of any unnecessary chemical going into my brew. So I'll just flush out the line a little bit just by running some beer through it and over into the bucket down there. Rinse that one more time. These stainless steel couplings are great. Real easy to clean, real easy to take apart. You just connect it to the outline, so it's going to go in the tube all the way to the bottom of the keg. Relieve the pressure and start to fill it. You can purge the keg a little bit with CO2 before you start to fill it, just to flush all the air out as well. So we've got the bleed line open. We're going to open it up and just look at it in a few minutes just to see where the level is. You can hear the regulator is pumping CO2 into the top here to displace it and push all the beer over. Once the water level or the beer level gets below the top of the keg, you'd have a hard time getting this over unless you drop the keg a bit lower. But with the pressure of the gas inside the 3-in-1, it just keeps pushing it over into the keg. Okay, so that's full. We'll close that valve. Seal the first keg off. It's one keg ready to pressurize. Connect it to the second keg. Okay, so we have just about 38 liters, or 10 gallons. Must have a little bit left over inside the fermenter. As soon as this is done here in a minute, I'm gonna take the sanitizer and just sanitize the posts before I pressurize it. Well, that's just about perfect then. Okay, so you can hear the gas coming through. So we've got all the beer. We've got 38 liters of beer in the kegs. With the kegs, I'll let CO2 in a few times and just bleed it off the top just to help flush off out any oxygen that's in the sitting at the top of the keg. Okay, and that's it. We've transferred all the beer from the 3-in-1 into the 2 kegs. We've added the pressure, the initial pressure into the kegs, and so it's going to start carbonating. And we're just going to clean up here. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to send them to us using the forms on the website.